Hey teams, as we've worked through getting the version 2 of our new Dash system implemented, we've had a handful of small tweaks that have kind of come on our needs that we need to address. I have a top 10 list of things we're going to be making minor adjustments with or adding into our system going into this next week as we either implement or you continue to implement in your office, okay? First thing on the list, all right, is Humanity. Humanity is really driving our scheduling, as it always has, but now in a more specific way. Every day when you get to the office, you should be able to look on Humanity and know where you're going. You don't need to go ask the manager anymore. It should tell you in Humanity where you're at for the day. Our managers are going to make sure those apps are updated on a day-to-day basis. Also, for a while here, we'll be posting on the wall a printout from Humanity so you can utilize that to know where you're at if you haven't had a chance to check your phone before you come to work. But you won't need to really go check in with the manager to see where you're working today. The only exception would be is if there's been a late call-in or change, then the manager will come to you and directly tell you if there's been a change that way, all right? That allows you to get going and start and not have to worry about talk with the manager, all right? Number 2, our STAR system, all right? The new addition to our flow board. The STAR gets put up, of course, by our Dash people once a patient's been waiting for the doctor for 5 minutes. That's what that STAR means. Is the second patient also doing for 5 minutes? Then the STAR gets moved down to them and down farther and so forth until our doctors catch back up. The STAR is going to help us know about our timeliness and staying on schedule, okay? We have a few more tweaks with the STAR system also to be coming down the road, but we're going to start with this and more to come on the STAR system. But that's what the STAR represents on the schedule. And for those doing Dash, be prepared to watch on Denticon. Make sure you watch your schedules and update that. Put that STAR up when a patient's been waiting for 5 minutes or more for a doctor, okay? Number 3, okay, babies who are scheduled in continuing care columns. It happens sometimes based on the busyness of our schedule. If a patient, or I should say a baby, is in the continuing care schedule and the hygiene schedule, then who sees that patient? The team that is with that patient sees them in their column. So it's the hygiene folks that will be seeing that patient. If it's in their column, what they'll do is once, when the time is right, they'll take that, go over into a baby room, and they'll see that baby there, all right? If the baby room is just not available, they'll radio to the manager to see if they can use the same-day treatment room as an alternative to that. But that is who sees those babies. It's not the baby assistant. It is the hygienes folks, and hygiene 1 or 2 that will determine who sees that baby, okay? Number 3, translation. Sometimes we have Spanish-speaking folks that need help with their translation, which causes us a switch in staffing to happen, okay? There's 2 types of scenarios. For those who are basically do not speak any English at all, a receptionist is going to usually identify those people, radio to the back, at which time within a pod, they can switch for a Spanish-speaking staff member. They can then, instead of, they might have to jump out of treatment or out of the baby to go swap, and those staff members will trade places within their own pod for that patient visit and then switch back as soon as they're done, all right? We then also have circumstances, though, where patients or parents speak enough English so we can get by through most of the visit, but if there's something specific the doctor needs to really communicate, then we'll pull someone over very temporarily for a couple minutes just to help the doctor be able to make sure they communicate any specific information that might be required. Again, that radio will happen. It'll be a temporary move over and then move right back so we stay within our columns and with our patients, okay? Number 5 is what happens when you have a patient who's struggling? We need a second or a third assistant situation, all right? The second assistant that comes to help with treatment is always going to be our Dash person. Unless we're running down or short for some reason, it's the Dash person that's going to be coming in, okay? If a third assistant is required, then it's going to be a manager's choice. It might be the manager themselves come in. They might ask someone else to come in if that makes more sense or they need to do that if they're tied up with something. But that is how we're going to handle second and third assisting, all right? Number 6 on my list, okay? Remember our shared chairs. The new patient chair, the chronic treatment chair, those are our 2 chairs that are shared when there's more than one doctor in the office between pods, all right? Of course, we have the new patients that are seen in the new patient chair temporarily for the meet and greet visit before they're moved out to their hygiene chair 3 with the same day assistant, all right? And then we have any same day treatments that are done, they'll move into the chronic room where they'll be seen there too, all right? Hopefully we don't have too many bumping into each other as things happen in that scenario. But in double doctor days, that's the potential for that can happen, all right? Again, the manager will help sort out those scenarios if we need to make switches or, if there needs a change needs to be made to help accommodate those folks. But that is essentially remembering that the same day people are the ones that are using the shared chairs and they can communicate with each other to help develop that, okay? Number 7 on my list, okay? Really comes down to families that are being seen, all right? let's say 1 or 2 of them get done before the other 2. Should you wait till your whole family is all done and then call for the doctor, then put the O symbol on that patient? No. You should put the O symbol up on a patient as soon as they are ready to see the doctor. That's important to our STAR system, and important to let our doctors know they can come over a little bit early if they need to, okay? So that's very, very key that you go ahead and put that system up. And make sure you radio so the doctor can come over and start seeing the family, even though the whole group is all finished being wrapped up, okay? Next on my list is what we're adjusting now to call the 10-minute rule. When a family has not come to the office and they're more than 10 minutes beyond their appointment time, they're officially considered late, and they're going to be adjusted to show as in a non-show-up status. They might still come, but where that relates to the team is that if you're the same-day assistant and you have a patient who's supposed to show up and you're kind of holding off helping anybody else, what you're going to do is basically when you hit that 10-minute mark, at that point, it's time to shift from your patient and then support and help the rest of your team in whatever it is they are doing. That's when we cut you loose to kind of start supporting and helping others. And it's the same day person that abides by that rule, okay? Certainly the hygiene 1 and 2 can also help the same day if they have a family in a similar circumstance. But that's the 2 scenarios where we can really jump in and help each other if there's families to be seen across our hygiene bay, okay? And of course, during that 10 minutes while you're waiting, what do? You're just simply following the downtime instructions about following your pod list, your area, or maybe asking the manager of a duty if you've already completed those things, okay? Next and then last on my list for the day today is kind of end of day situations, all right? So the dash person is in charge of closing out the sterilization area. The other staff members are, of course, in charge of closing out their individual areas they've worked on during the day, all right? But because the sterilization is the last thing to wrap up, that means the dash person is probably going to be the last person to wrap up for the day too, all right? As you finish your pod in your area, talk to the manager, check out for the day, make sure things are good, and then you're free to go on home. There's no need to hang around and help this person or that person and try to all of it again. Everyone takes care of their duties in their areas and then checks out their manager, and then it can be done for the day. So just know your dash days might be a bit longer, but your other days hopefully be a little bit shorter, okay? So there's some kind of a top 10 list of things, of other tweaks in our new system I want to make sure everybody was aware of, and excited to have you put those into place. We'll see y'all.